Hey, what's up everybody? Tonight we're going to take a look at Captain Sonar's little brother, Sonar. So if you're familiar with Captain Sonar, you've got a big divider between two teams and each person plays a different role on a submarine. So you're navigating through the water, trying to figure out where the enemy is. That's the guys on the other side of the screen. And then you've got an engineer, captain, navigator, and there's one other role. Having trouble remembering it. But in Sonar, they've taken it down to captain and navigator. So one guy's tracking where the bad guys are, the other guy's deciding when to use the sonar, when to surface, when to shoot a torpedo, and different things like that. So it's a lot of fun, a little less complicated, but it only plays up to 4 players. So let's go down to the table, take a look at the components, and see how it's played. So, like I said, this is Sonar. It's by Madagot Games. 8 and up, 2 to 4 players, 30 minutes. 30 minutes is about right. Played a 2-player game, it's about 30 or 45 minutes. So it's by designed by Roberto Fraga and Johan Lemonier, I believe is how you pronounce it. Shows you pretty much what you're going to be doing there, and some little flavor there. So you can really get into the game if you want. And I suggest you do, because it's pretty fun. So this is the screen that will go up between the 2 teams. And it's a big old thick cardboard, so it's not like a cheap little screen. And it's pretty big too. So they try to give you the sense that you're actually there in the submarine. And I hadn't paid attention before, but I'm guessing each player sees something different. Yeah. So on the other side, it's a little different. So this will be up in between the 2 of you. And each player, or each team rather, will have a captain sheet, and these are all laminated dry erase type things. So you can write your name, your team name up there, and it's got 4 different maps from easy to most difficult. I think this is one of the most difficult ones. Let me grab Open Waters. North Pole. Yeah, these are the more difficult ones. So this is one that you would start out with. So there's more islands. And the reason I say these are more difficult is because the less islands there are, the less possibility there is for you to run into something. And I'll explain why that matters here in a second. So when you're playing, you'll have a captain map with all the different abilities, which is move. Each turn you can take 1 action. Move, surface, sonar, silent movement, or shoot a torpedo. And then it shows you how much energy each of those actions cost. So every time you move, the game comes with 4 dry erase markers. So every time you do the move action, you'll put an X on one of these energy spots. So it would take me 2 energy to use a sonar. So I'd have to move at least twice before I say, okay, we're using our sonar. And then the guy from the people from the other team have to say what column or row that, or like sector that they're in. So I can move twice, erase 2 energy, say sonar, and then the other team's captain will say, okay, we're in column D. So then I know they're somewhere in this column. Or they could say 6, and I know they're somewhere in this row. The next action you can do is silent movement, and it costs 3 energy. So if I had moved at least 3 times, I could erase those and then move without telling them where I'm going, and I'll tell you why that matters here in a second. Then if I had moved 4 or more times in a row, I'd have all 4 of these X's, and then I could shoot a torpedo. but you can only shoot a torpedo at a spot that's in your current square. So, just for example, if we were right here, I could only shoot in this square. And then, of course, they'd have to tell me if it was a hit or not. If it was a hit on their sheet, they put an X on one of these. And once you've taken 2 damage, you lose the game. Surface only, you use your entire turn to surface. And anytime you surface, you have to tell the other team exactly where you are. So, for example, when you move, you have to announce it. And now I can actually go into how the game's played. So, pretend this is the other team's map. At the beginning of the game, their navigator is going to put an X where they think I am. Okay, so they think I'm there. Since I'm the captain, I put an X where we start. So we started there. And as the moves progress, I'll say moving north. And then I draw a line north. And then their navigator will draw a line north. And then I'll say moving west. And then they'll draw a line going west. And then you get the point. I'll go north. And then they'll draw a line going north. So now here I've run into they think I've run into an island, which you can't move through islands. So now he knows there's no way I could have started there. So he moves it over here. Well, there's no way I could have started there because I can't start on an island. So then he moves it over here. So, okay, he could have started here. So now their navigator thinks that I'm here. And then, let's just say on the next turn, I moved north. And I moved west. Go back to this map over here. I say, oh, move north, move west. Okay, well, he can't be there. He can't be there because he would have gone through an island. Can't go through an island. Couldn't start off the map. Couldn't have started there. Oh, maybe he started here. So now, since their navigator has been paying attention, he's now figured out exactly where I am. So he can look to his captain and say, all right, captain, I think I know where they are. Let's do a sonar. And then their captain will erase 2 of their X's from their previous movements and say sonar. And then I'll say, okay, I'm in row 5. And then their navigator will go, row 5. Okay, I think I got him, captain. And then they'll move around some more. They'll try to make sure that their ship is up in this square so that, as I keep moving, they can eventually shoot a torpedo. And that's how it works. So you get the point about how important silent movement would be. So if I hear him saying he thinks he knows where I am, I can be like, okay, well, I'm going to do a silent movement. And then I get to move without telling them where I'm going. And then on his map, he would have to say, okay, well, he could have gone down this way, he could have gone down this way, he could have gone up this way, I don't know. So I've kind of lost him a little bit. And then, so the reason for the surface, the only reason you would want to surface is if you got stuck somewhere you couldn't go. So if I got all the way down here and I wanted to go east, you can't ever double back on yourself. So even a good example would be if I was here and I went down and I wanted to go back west, I couldn't. So we would surface right here. So that means you erase all the lines you made previously and you put an X on your new starting spot. And they know exactly where you are now because when you surface you have to tell them where you are. Now we can go anywhere we want to go. We don't have to worry about the previous lines. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you call out which direction you're going. Their navigator makes marks on their map to try to figure out where you are. You use the sonar to get hints. Silent movement to try to run away. And then once you think you found them, you shoot a torpedo and try to hit them. It's freaking amazing. It's, when you read about it and you're just reading the rules and you hear me talk about it, it seems like, okay, yeah, that might be cool. But when you get on somebody's tail and you're so close to figuring out where they are and everything's starting to come together and You know, you're moving this thing around and you're like, okay, couldn't be there, couldn't be there. He's got to be right there. And then you shoot a torpedo and you miss. And so he was just like, he was north instead of south. It's really fun. And I actually played this with my, how old is Damien? I think my nephew's 10 years old and my son's 7. So it was me against a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old. And they got me one game, but I got them the other ones. So anyways, that's Sonar. Hope you enjoyed this video. And please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also check out gamingonboard.com. We have links there to our Facebook and Instagram account. We also post to Instagram daily. And thanks again for watching the video. And as always, play all the games.